Is it too late to buy a Rocket Lab stock or not? That's probably the question many of you are asking yourself right now because you've seen this stock go up and up and up so much in the last couple of weeks and in the last couple of months as well. But it's not just Rocket Lab, it's all the other space stocks as well since the elections. I mean, space stocks, quantum computing stocks, all the other things have gone up quite a significant amount, right? Now, okay, on the one side, you could say it makes sense. Now it's risk on, lots of money flowing in, new president, they're very pro innovation, very pro space and stuff like that. So yeah, money is flowing in to the space companies, plus SpaceX still being private, worth $250 billion. And so people are looking for the next best thing. And so it makes sense. Okay, I can agree with that side of the argument. On the flip side, me personally, I do feel like we are in a type of FOMO environment where people are just throwing money left, right, and center because there is fear of missing out. They're seeing these stocks go up 20, 50% a week, or maybe sometimes even a day, and they're missing out. And so, okay, now I want to jump in. So I'm putting this amount of money on it. And then it goes up even more and more and more, up until it does not, right? Up until it does not. We've seen that play out before back in 2021. It goes up, everybody's happy, nobody's asking any questions. But when it goes down and you don't know why it goes down because you have no idea what you're owning, then the questions start to arise and people are like, oh, what the heck? Why is it down? What am I owning? What is this? This is trash. I have to sell it, blah, blah, blah. And then it comes down quite quickly. So bottom line, it's always important to know what you own. Yes, even if it's up quite a lot. And even if, for this example, Rocket Lab, right now, it's a company that's going to be worth around $12 billion because pre-market we're up another 10% or so. As you can see, year to date, this stock is up over 320%, year over year, over 440%. I mean, a tremendous rally. But with Rocket Lab specifically, and I'm biased here, I own a position in Rocket Lab, which is up a tremendous amount. But I think that Rocket Lab 10 years from now, 15 years from now, is probably going to be worth more than $100 billion in market cap. So technically speaking, if I buy today, even if today, yes, the stock is expensive, trading at a high valuation and stuff like that, if I think that 10, 15 years from now, this thing could 10x or more, then why do I even think about buying or not buying today, right? If I think that 10 years from now, I'm going to 10x my investment. Does that make sense? On the flip side, if you do not think that you could reach these types of valuations, $100 billion, $150 billion, 10, 15 years from now, then today might not be the day to buy the stock. And then there is scenario number 3, which is a mix of the number 1 and number 2. And that's the fact that, yes, I think this thing could 10x in the next 10, 15 years, but I don't like to chase these types of things. I already have a position which I'm comfortable owning. I just don't want to be adding right now. And then, I don't know, I can't time the market, but I rather buy when there is a lot of fear rather than a lot of, well, FOMO, right? So if this stock goes up in the next coming days, okay, great. My position goes up as well. But if we start seeing a small correction in the market, because eventually people will start taking profits because this was just super easy money, right? You want to end the year with some money in your pocket, and so you're taking profits, and then things go down, and then can go down quite quickly. And that's where I would like to add more to my position because I'll feel more comfortable adding during red days, if that makes sense, even though I think this company could be worth way more in the future. That's just how I go around my portfolio. Might be completely crazy to you, might be not. Let me know down in the comment section below. Let's discuss Rocket Lab a little bit in this video because we had a great weekend for the company. So let's do that. Like, subscribe to all of that, notification bell on as well so you don't miss any of the future videos. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. I'll first start by saying that the average analyst price target, believe it or not, has gone up a tremendous amount. Since the start of November, the average analyst price target was sitting at $7.80. Right now, it's at $20.40. Now, it might be because the analysts are currently chasing this stock on the way up, or it might be that they suddenly opened their eyes. probably a mix of both, which also means that right now the average analyst price target sits around 13% lower than the price we're at today. For those that are unfamiliar, by 2035, the space economy is set to reach $1.8 trillion. That's up from $630 billion in 2023 and averaging a growth rate of 9% per annum, a figure significantly above the growth rate of global GDP. Space-based and/or enabled technologies such as communications, positioning, navigation and timing, and Earth observation services are expected to be the key drivers of this growth. And of course, Rocket Lab is expected to play a big part in that. Now, we've had two things happen for Rocket Lab in the last 24 hours actually. So one, Rocket Lab signs a $23.9 million CHIPS Incentives Award to boost semiconductor manufacturing. This was something that was already pre-announced a while back, but now it has been finalized. So the semiconductors produced by Rocket Lab are used in space-grade solar cells and other optoelectronic products that are important components for national security and commercial applications. By the way, this comes thanks to an acquisition that Rocket Lab made back in 2022 for $80 million. I wrote here $80, but no, it's $80 million. The company they acquired, it was called Solero. Big news number two is that, well, Rocket Lab successfully launches 2 missions in less than 24 hours. They successfully deployed 5 satellites to a 643-kilometer low Earth orbit. The mission was called Ice Baby. Now, I love the names of their missions. It's always fun to read, so congrats to them. The mission was Rocket Lab's 14th mission of 2024 and the 56th launch overall. It also brought the total count of satellites deployed by Rocket Lab to 203, further cementing Electron's position as the leading small launch vehicle globally. The launch took place just 21 hours and 55 minutes after Rocket Lab completed a successful mission from Launch Complex 2 in Virginia, setting a new company record for the fastest turnaround between launches. Comment here by Sir Peter Beck. 2 successful launches less than 24 hours apart from paths in different hemispheres. I mean, this company might be small, but it's going to be making quite a lot of big moves in the years ahead. All in all, if for those of you that aren't familiar or still think that this is primarily a launch company, if we zoom out a bit, you can see that, well, launch services is not the biggest one at all for the company. It's space systems revenue, and space systems revenue have increased quite a lot in the last couple of quarters, last couple of years as well. Of course, launch services is always nice to have, right? And will definitely become much bigger once Neutron gets up and running. For the last quarter, revenue came in at $105 million, a 55% year-over-year increase. It wasn't the strongest quarter overall. Launch cadence was quite low for the quarter. For Q4, that's expected to be much better. But I mean, you can clearly see here the big increase comes from space systems. Space systems is basically around 80% or so of the revenue. And this is where we're at right now. We've got number 1, Rocket Lab being a launch company. Number 2, Rocket Lab being a space system company. And then they also want to be, of course, that's the big end game here, a space services company. So the end goal is to be the end-to-end space company. And what should unlock that last part is this thing right here. That's the Neutron one. And they say here that they signed already a multi-launch agreement for Neutron with a confidential satellite constellation operator. And we should see Neutron in the air by mid-2025. With regards to Electron, last quarter they also signed new contracts worth $55 million, which is great because if we pass all of this, I'll come back to that. The backlog has been decreasing quarter after quarter. Year over year, it's still up quite a lot. That's because of the big contract that they got from the SDA. But it's nice to see, well, hopefully we're going to see the backlog reaccelerate as they get more and more attention as we get closer to Neutron as well. And probably when we're going to see Neutron flying, then I expect to see more slides like this. Neutron is already open for business. They have already 2 dedicated Neutron launches booked in 2026 and 2027. I expect that in 2025, we're going to hear more announcements like this. And remember, every neutron launch is, well, around $60 million. Every electron is what, seven point something million dollars. So quite a big increase in revenue. And of course, with Neutron, you get exposed to much bigger contracts, especially government one. They say here, Neutron is now eligible to compete for missions under OSP-4, a $986 million IDIQ contract. So it's safe to say that Neutron will open the door to, well, billions and billions of dollars in contracts. As for Q4 outlook, they expect revenue to be in the range of $125 to $135 million. They expect continued growth in space systems revenue, and they currently anticipate increased launch cadence during Q4. Usually they give us some more specific numbers here, but okay. And so right now, looking at the chart, yes, it does seem like a rocket has been launched here for Rocket Lab. The stock, I mean, this has been completely crazy. Back in August, this stock was trading under $5. We're now pre-market at $25.61. Now, yes, as you can clearly see here, RSI is overbought, but has been overbought already since the end of September. And by the end of September, this stock was at around $8.50. So you can stay overbought for long periods of time and see the stock go up even more. So overall, to conclude, is it too late to buy a Rocket Lab stock? My opinion, no. This company, in my opinion, will be worth over $100 billion in the future. That said, like I said at the start of this video, I would like to see these types of stocks and the stock market maybe cool off a little bit to get a better entry point. Now, on the flip side, you could just sell puts, and so you win no matter what. It goes down, you get to buy the stock at a cheaper price. It goes up, you collect a premium. So yeah, there you have it. I think the future is quite bright, but right now we are in a type of fear of missing out environment. You do not want to get burned. So that's about it. That's all I've got to say right now. Like, subscribe, do all of that, and I see you all in the next one. Bye bye.